Hello, this is Dr. Werner. You have been reading and studying about the method of Rene Descartes, but perhaps you have found it difficult. Perhaps you have found it confusing. Perhaps you feel you're in the dark. So, let's see if I can shed some light on the method of Rene Descartes. Rene Descartes studied philosophy, but he got confused. After a while, he didn't know what he thought. Maybe you understand the feeling. He was all confused. He wasn't certain about anything. He wasn't sure whether God existed or not, or whether he existed or not, or how do you even know that the world around you is real? How do you know? He was confused. He doubted everything. Nothing was certain. He doubted everything. Nothing could be certain. But wait a minute. He was certain of one thing. He was certain that he was doubting. And if he was doubting, well, he must be thinking. And if he's thinking, something must be doing the thinking. There must be a thinker. And so, he reached his first conclusion. If he's thinking, he must exist. Something must be doing the thinking. And so he came up with this famous phrase, I think, therefore I am. Cogito ergo sum. If I'm thinking, I must exist to be doing the thinking. Next, he knew he had the idea of God. God is an infinite being. But Rene Descartes thought that the idea of God as this infinite being is something we humans could not come up with on our own. If we had the idea of God, there must be a God to give us the idea. Because the idea of God, this infinite being, was something beyond our human perceptions. So therefore, if we have the idea of God, God must exist. This is his second conclusion. It's a kind of leap from the knowing that you have the idea of God to saying that God exists. Rene Descartes has been criticized for this. But that's the move he makes. If I have the idea of God, God must exist. And now, what about the world around me? How do I know it's real? It could be a dream. Well, if there's a God, Rene Descartes believed that God would not deceive us. So if the world around us was an illusion, then God would be deceiving us, and Rene Descartes didn't think that was the case. If there's a God who won't deceive us, therefore the world around us must be real because it seems pretty real. And that's his third conclusion. The world around us is real. And that's it. That's the method of Descartes. He began by doubting, but if he's doubting, he's thinking. If he's thinking, he must exist. If he has the idea of God, God must exist. And if there's a God who won't deceive us, then the world around us is real. That's it. And you thought it was difficult. Oh, one last thing. There's an old joke. Rene Descartes walked into a bar. The bartender said, "Would you like a beer?" Rene said, "I think not." And poof, he disappeared.